Greetings, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, or comment. Just trying to share information, trying to uplift, try to motivate. That's the purpose. Now, it's almost time to go back to school. First, I want to say thank you for your service. I know you generally say that to armed forces, soldiers, but I want to say that to the teachers because you do a great job. A lot of people do not want to do currently. State of Virginia, about 2 weeks ago, I seen on the news, they said they were looking for 1,000 teachers. You know, underpaid, they work hard, and still get a lot of grief. You know, it's sad that our education system is the way it is compared to other countries. Let's use China, for example. Well, let's just leave that alone. Back to the teachers. Thanks for what you're doing. Good job. And to all the ones that I gave a hard time when I was younger because I was the class clown. My apologies. But let's jump right into it. So as we get back into school now, the threat of mass shootings, it's always there. This is America. This is what they do, right? The kid Nikolas Cruz, the one Parkland shooting, that was the last big mass shooting. I believe it was 17 that was murdered by the boy. They released some tapes of him talking to one of the detectives. Don't know why they released it. Something don't feel right about those tapes. But anyway, I see they didn't make a big deal about it. But I don't see why they should give him any light. I don't even see how they apprehended that guy, Nikolas Cruz, the school shooter, without a scratch on him. Knowing that these officers are responding to a mass shooter, you know, a mass shooting, and he's still no scars, no scratches, nothing. Anyway, that's another story, and I think most of my listeners know exactly why that is the way it is. So, summer's up, pretty much. I really hope everyone enjoyed it. You know, spend time with the fam, also teaching your children. Don't just send them to school and expect them to learn a lot. You have to teach them at home. Because if you ever look at the curriculum, if you ever look through their books or talk to them, sometimes it's not in line with everything that you may believe. So don't leave it up to the teachers. Talk to them, find out what's going on. Because the curriculum that some schools provide is still, let's just say, it's not up to par with what they need to know. I take it, education, very serious, and I try to enlighten my children as much as I can about some of these crazy things I say because they won't say it in school. Although there are a lot of teachers that would like to talk about it, but they can only talk about it to a certain degree. Florida had a back-to-school event, I believe it was about last week, 2 weeks ago, and two people got into it. They argued. I don't know if there was any fist exchange, but the guy came back with a gun. Good Samaritan, good guy with a gun, shot him and stopped him. You know, yes, I am all for the Second Amendment. And, you know, the way they demonize guns is, I just think we need to get to the basics and know that crazy people do crazy things regardless of what instrument or weapons they use. So, you know, he pretty much saved the day, but mainstream media won't talk about that. Oklahoma, guy, grandfather, hears his door get kicked in middle of the night, and it was a naked guy strangling his grandson. I believe his grandson was 14 years old. Grandfather goes, gets his pistol, shoots the guy twice, dies. Wife calls the police, and unfortunately, the police came in and ended up shooting the grandfather, who was a vet and a well-decorated vet. Not to knock the police or anything in that situation, but, you know, the guy kicked down his front door, naked, high on whatever it is. So, yeah, you could be strong. You could hit the gym. You might have a weapon. You might got knives. You got nunchucks. I don't know, a broom, whatever. But, you know, this country was protected, founded, and taken by guns. So, you know, I feel like Second Amendment is kind of important. But here nor there. Main thing is, you know, peace comes first. You know, violence should be the last resort. Last resort. So, what else we got now? New Mexico. Did you hear about the training camp? Let's go back to the guns again. back to the training camp. They're supposed to be the radical Muslims, radical Islam, however they want to state it. Whenever they say it, it just doesn't sound right. Seems like there's something behind it. But anyway, they was training children to perform mass shootings. Now, I'm not sure the ages of the children. It could be a totally true story. Could be not, but I'm pretty sure that the kids was abused. And either way, somehow in this country, abusing children seems to be accepted. So they brought up the story, then you didn't hear too much about it. And right before that story aired, I was thinking like, hey, they haven't said nothing about Islam or Muslims. It's kind of a timeline that they use, you know, every few weeks or after certain events. I kind of study this stuff, and, you know, it's not exact science, and of course I'm not always right, but right on time as I was thinking about it, they brought it up. And then we'll probably hear about ISIS within the next week or so. If I'm right, you know, I might be totally wrong, but that's generally how they do it, you know. So, children, we need to protect them. Then we have, I heard today, Catholic Church, 301 priests that abused children. Anyway, cut to the chase. The Catholic Church, very interesting establishment, very interesting religion, to say the least. And I'm sure we heard of all the allegations of sexual abuse, and I don't think you could technically stop a religion. I don't think they ever will, because somebody will always find right in it, no matter how much wickedness they do. I mean, these is children. These religious figures that's doing it. So I guess it's just something that's always going to continue, and they'll keep on paying out money to these victims because they got it like that. And also, Vatican City, they allegedly have a very big library in there with books from all around the world that very few people have access to. Wish I could get in there, read some of those books, see what's going on. Because those lies and those very short truths that they told me as a child, and I'm sure they're still telling these kids, it's not where it should be. I hope I didn't talk your ear off tonight. As always, you know, thanks for watching. Like I said, like, share, comment. Freedom forever. Create and conquer. We out.